Hello. Happy Saturday night.
Friday.
Saturday.
Friday.
Why do I look gray?
Why do you look gray?
Yeah. Hey, Monica.
We are kind of gray. We got
bad
the
lighting
gray
thing.
going.
Hey, Reisner Vintage. We're just waiting on Mr. and Mrs. Pagel to jump on here. I did send them a message, so they should be here shortly. How's everybody doing tonight? Are you waving?
No, I'm not waving. This is not waving.
Cindy, you look beautiful. Love your hair. Yours too, Matt. You got a good hair thing.
Right.
I tried a hair mask thing while we wait, and it was a total fail. So that's why you got all this.
Don't use a hair mask.
Hair mask. Bad.
What exactly is hair mask?
It's like a mask for your hair.
Really?
Yeah. Look beautiful. Thank you.
Like
Hey,
Batman wears
yeah.
a mask?
Hey, Oakbrook. I saw Oakbrook in Chad's live chat last night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Guys, good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes, we're just the curls. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's good to see you.
Got all dolled up, right? No, it wasn't that. It was a bad hair mask experience.
Super cute hair. Love the curls.
Yeah, I'm an old school picker. That's awesome.
Beautiful curls.
There we go. Let's see, Mr. Golden Finger Pickers.
Hi.
Yes.
We're waiting.
We're waiting. Love your makeup. Thank you.
Thank you. I spent all day.
Right?
They tried this hair mask and it just didn't work.
Didn't work.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Hey,
there
there
they
they are.
Does it work?
Does it work?
It works.
You're
Yay.
in. We can see you.
The request wouldn't come up on her phone to
Yeah.
request, so now we've got my smaller iPhone 6, so we'll do the best we can.
Yeah.
Whatever works. Whatever works. Yeah, I think you have to have the newest update for Instagram.
Yeah, because you know she is just on top of Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
that's one thing I'm probably ahead of her on.
Yeah.
Is Instagram. So
I'm learning.
That's okay. I'm just excited you guys have jumped on and are getting
Yeah.
in. Look at everybody jumping on. Everyone say, hey. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. Went to the beach, had fun. So yeah, we're doing
All right,
good.
disconnect them.
Right, went to the beach.
Disconnect them.
Ah,
she went to the beach. I went to the flea market.
Yes. Yes.
even that. It was like 32 degrees here.
Disconnect them.
Oh wow.
Sorry about that.
I didn't mean to rub it in. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's okay. We would do the same thing.
We're jealous.
So, yes, Chad, you went to the flea market and got some great stuff. Tell us about that. So tell us about the
Oh my-
flea market. That's what we're talking
Oh
about.
my gosh. Yeah, I went in and this is just something that people can just think about. There was this huge bin full of military patches and
So,
they wanted $1 a piece. So I'm thinking, I don't want to go through all these. I'm thinking, what if I ask her how much for all of it? And yeah, and she said, there's a couple thousand patches. We sell them for $1 a piece. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, we're talking $800-900, and she's going to think she's giving me a steal.
Right.
But then she said $250. I'm kind of like, okay, I've got $200 in this pocket, or one of my pockets, and I have $400 in one of my other pockets, because that's one of the things we teach people, that when you're out and you're face to face and you're negotiating, you'll have different denominations in your pockets because you can use that. When she said $250, I'm like, oh, all I have is, I was hoping I was pulling into the right pocket. I'm either going to pull $400 out or $200 out. But I pulled it out and I said, this is all I have, $200. And I can do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
done.
oh,
Couldn't
yeah.
get that one
So,
out fast enough.
yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
So what's
he
your-
called me so excited.
Oh, I'm sure. What's your one big negotiation tip when you're face to face like that?
I would say, don't be afraid to negotiate.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst they can do is say
Yeah,
no.
that's what I always say.
Hate
Like,
it. I hate it.
You
She
hate
won't
it?
negotiate.
I hate it. I hate
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Oh, you
You
are
know,
missing.
I'm
You're
the
missing
one.
out.
I'm the one, if they've got something up there, I'm offering them half or whatever, trying to get the best
Yeah.
deal. She won't.
No,
Sure.
they're like
See,
$10. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
To me, it's like I don't know. It's like a challenge. Like it's fun. I think it's fun to negotiate, but
I think if you gave us the opportunity, go to a thrift store, go to an auction, go to an estate sale, or go deal with somebody to get their stuff, we would pick that
Yeah.
because after so many years of doing it, it becomes second nature, and you're always, I mean, it's literally a mental game that you're playing with and if you
Yeah.
have a good negotiator on the other side,
it becomes
it's a strategic.
Yes, it's
The negotiation is part of the fun.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Ash Hanger's in here, and she just said she feels bad. I do too. I feel bad. I'm like, oh,
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Well, I tell you, we talk a lot about like the local apps, Offer Up and Let
Yeah.
Go.
So which ones are the good ones?
Well,
Well, all of them. I mean,
Depends on the
it kind of depends on where you're at, your location. But for us, I mean, they're kind of all about the same. But that is a good place to start as far as, just kind of testing the waters if you are a little bit intimidated to negotiate. Do it over Let Go or Offer Up, and it kind of builds your confidence. And
I can-
that's a great way to start.
Now, do you find certain items on certain apps? Like, do you use like one app to find, you notice you can find certain items and other apps you can find other items, or?
I don't think
It's
so.
pretty much across
I
the
mean,
board.
down here where we're at, it's pretty much even. I mean, I know in certain other parts of the country, we have friends and they're like, we just don't find that stuff, on our apps. But go ahead.
that's one of the biggest things we get from people is because we recommend it to people, and they're like, everything's just so expensive. There is and I'm like, if you look at ours in our area, you would think it's expensive.
Yeah, it looks like it's
I mean,
too expensive.
We had somebody selling something for over $1,000, and I don't care. I went in and said, "Will you take $500 for it?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, thanks. I appreciate it." And I'm like, "Hey, the offer stands."
And then a month later,
we get it. Hey, are you still willing to take $500 pay $500 for that? I'm like,
well, now
I
I
was
only
like,
have
man,
400.
all I got's $400 now.
Oh, I love
Because-
it. You guys
Well,
are awesome.
because what they did when they contacted us, that they're in a position
Right.
that they may not have been in a month ago. And it's, a lot of people say that's taking advantage of
No.
but that's a part of the game.
No,
They
that's the
waited,
game.
and so it's going to cost them.
Well,
So-
if you're selling something and you've been sitting on it, and
Right.
someone offers you 500 and say, "Oh, no," and they come back 3-4 months later and they say, "I'll give you 400 for it," you're going to take that deal also. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
part of doing business.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that particular thing, as soon as they came back and said, "Hey, are you still in it for 500?" I looked at Chad and said, "No, now we're in it for 400."
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the negotiating, and it's fun. I don't know. I think it's fun.
Oh, I love the negotiation. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's what it's about. I mean, we did a video yesterday. I think we stayed in that place an hour and negotiated over two things. That typically doesn't happen like that, but
No.
I would because that's the art. This dude is so hard,
Oh,
and all we do is bicker and bicker.
And usually I can't say usually. Sometimes it's not as lighthearted as it was yesterday.
Yeah.
That guy in particular, he and I kind of go back and forth a little bit. And so, yeah, he can get a little,
Yeah, some people get
be
upset.
intimidated.
So how do you deal when somebody is coming back at you and they're angry or they're upset or they're, like you've insulted them or something? How do you deal with that?
Go ahead.
It really depends on their attitude with the reason why they're mad at me. Okay, if I make them an offer, okay, and it upsets them, they think a lot of times it's because they think they have more than what they actually
Right.
have.
Yeah.
And at that time, they're going to get an education.
Yep.
Because if they get crappy with me, I'm going to be nice, but I'm going to explain it to them. Look, while it's a nice item, you know, this is an issue, this is an
Yeah.
issue, this is an issue, this is an issue. Plus, I have to make money. So, and that's the number one statement we use. We've got to be able to make money on this, so you've got to work with us.
And if someone, like you said, is, you know, is insulted or they get angry or to me, it's like, you know, thank you anyway. Like I'm
Yeah.
always positive because I walk away going, I don't have to have that. Like, you know, who cares? The worst they can do is get angry and say no. And I still say, thank you, you know, have a great day. And
Oh yeah.
no skin off my back, you know?
always be polite. I mean, I don't think we've ever gotten into like a really
Oh, no.
a mean
Like
or
argument.
yeah,
or no.
nothing like that. But it's always
So you're upfront with them that you're going to resell it basically when you're negotiating with these people.
I'm not always upfront. No.
Mhm. Probably 90% of the time. It's not that you're lying.
Oh, no,
But
it's just not.
yeah. Well, a lot of people have said that they think that's immoral to,
Right.
you know, I mean,
And
say
it's-
we're at a garage sale or something like that. We're out to resell, buy stuff to resell. Okay, there might be something there, and you know, Kim might be like, "Well, do you think so and so would like this?" That's my cue to okay, make money on this. So, or I would do that, or oh man, my uncle would really like something like this. I mean, something like that. So, but 90% of the time, we might as well. It's omission. You know, a lot of people say it's lying by omission, but
Well,
that's a part of the game.
we actually made a video, or we were doing a video one time, a live show actually, and people were getting, you know, really in the chat saying that this is just immoral and you're lying to people, and I completely disagree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah, because the fact of the matter is you may buy it, bring it home, and one of your boys wants it and you keep it anyway. Or, you know, you're
well, and I'm giving them,
But I do have an uncle.
exactly.
listen, they have it out there at their yard sale because they want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I pay their price, you know, whatever, or if I negotiate down and talk them down, you know, I don't know. I don't think there's anything immoral about it.
We don't sit there and say my grandmother in the hospital needs this.
Oh,
I mean, it's
Right.
nothing.
I
like
got to pay
Nothing
hospital
like-
bills with this.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you know, we sell. I mean, I'm sure you've sold to resellers, so I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
we know how it works. They don't have to tell us what they're going to do with it.
Right.
As long as everyone gets the price that they're happy with, then
Right.
it's no big deal. I mean, that's
Yeah, and everybody
it.
walks away happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If people buy from us and flip it. So when you first went to Florida, so you guys were from Indiana, you first went to Florida, how did you figure out, okay, what can we source here? Because every area is a little bit different. And a lot of times that we will hear, you know, well, I can't find what you guys are finding in Chicago where I am, which is very, very true. So how do you kind of figure out what's in your area?
For us, it was trial and error. I mean, it was a matter of, I mean, in Indiana, you have antiques, you have, you know, auctions every night of the week. You know, I mean, down here, that doesn't exist. Like, and if you do find antiques, oh, you're going to pay.
Yeah.
Up. So, I mean, we kind of had to.
We used something as a go-between
Yes,
that
we
we were
did.
experienced in. Didn't like it, but we did it, and it was clothing.
Yes. And
You
until
were on
we
the
found.
dance for a while there.
Yeah, until we found out, you know, what was to offer here. I mean,
Yeah.
we did. We used clothing and it was great.
I mean, in Indiana, we're digging through barns, we're digging through
Oh, yeah.
garages, and well, I mean, clothing saved us.
Oh, gosh,
literally.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
literally saved us,
Yep.
and And the reason why she'd said that you don't see antiques or anything down here and it's just different stuff is because what happens is people up north, they'll retire. What they'll do is they'll sell off their estate and they minimize
Yeah.
before they make their move. So all the old money is up north.
there, yeah.
And, you know, down here, I mean, I used to buy Edison phonographs every weekend
Like-
up there.
Yeah, and
I've
down
seen
here,
one down
we've
here
seen one.
in 4 or 5
In
years.
5 years that
Yeah.
we've lived here,
Wow.
we've seen one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
But then you guys really hit on the military thing because you live near a military base. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
we're right in the middle of two, actually.
Yeah.
Two different bases. So.
Plus, we have Pensacola. That's the big naval area.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just military everywhere.
Yeah.
So the high quality boots, the backpacks, the uniform, the
That stuff is on offer up and let go all the time.
high dollar stuff.
Yeah.
The Patagonia.
Yeah.
The Patagonia camo. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Offer up. The guy just gave it to us.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Gosh. Oh my gosh, we're all going to the Florida Opera Up. So you guys then really figured out, okay, we're in the middle of these military bases. Let's learn what's high quality military gear.
Well, I was in the
Yeah.
military, so I pretty much knew. And we did
And
military
we
up
did
there.
military in Indiana as
Yeah.
well.
So-
This is on a different level.
Oh yeah, it's just everywhere. And every single thing military I've ever listed, we've sold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like,
It definitely not a long
yeah.
tail type item.
But the military, the retired military estates around here,
That
through
is
the roof.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
where we just, yeah.
So people want to know where in Indiana were you guys?
we were
Go ahead.
born and raised in Seymour, both of us.
Which is where in Indiana?
It's an hour south of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we lived all over. Greensburg, Logansport, that's up
Yeah.
north. We lived out west at
Cloverdale.
Cloverdale. Yeah, so we've been all over Indiana. So,
Yeah. I was born and raised in Indiana, so I did.
oh, where you?
Cool.
Yeah.
Where at?
Yeah. Peru, which is north of.
Well, you know where Peru's at.
Logansport. Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Logansport, Winamac area.
Delphi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Cool.
Indiana people.
Mellencamp territory, yes.
Small world.
Yes. So what's your favorite thing, back to reselling. What's your favorite thing to source locally?
Is there one favorite thing?
Yeah.
One favorite thing.
Like you're like every time you get on the OfferUp app, you're looking for what's the category you're going to.
Good.
Go. You go first.
Yeah, that goes to, you were asking about the kind of stuff. I have search terms that I always put in first.
Yes, that's what.
And one of the first things is fluke,
Yeah.
because we have made some killer money on the fluke. They're the multimeters and stuff, high dollar stuff,
I know what a
high
fluke
dollar stuff.
Okay.
Easy.
What?
it
What?
out.
There-
All right. For everybody else that's like me, I'm sure you know, but what's a fluke? Because like a
Fluke is testing equipment, like a multimeter, stuff electricians
Yeah.
use.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of different lines of it, and it's good stuff.
I'm all over the board with what I
Yeah.
mean, I find a lot of the military stuff because I do check the apps. Like, I'm kind of addicted, but it's like every 15 or 20 minutes I'm on there, so I get a lot of the military, contacts first. But as far as me, I love the boots. I always find like amazing boots, like the Doc Martens, with the 20 eyes.
The knee
and
highs.
So that's probably my favorite thing to find on Let Go or OfferUp. But yeah.
Yeah, when we say military stuff, there are a lot of people don't know this, but there are like not secondary market, but I don't want to say aftermarket
Yeah.
either. There are different companies that make military spec stuff that's not military issue, but
Right.
soldiers can use it. That stuff is through the
Yeah.
roof. I mean, like the backpacks.
The backpacks are crazy. I don't know how many backpacks I found. I would say that would be my number 2 favorite thing to find, because the backpacks are so crazy expensive, like $300 to $500.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy might have 100 on it, and I usually get it for 40-ish.
40
know.
to 60. Yeah.
I mean,
Love
really,
it.
and-
Negotiation.
Love it. I know that a lot of people that hike use a lot of that gear. So you're not
yeah.
to than other military people. There are a lot of people.
But that stuff is built. I mean, it's
Yes.
built to last, and that's
Yes.
why it's such high demand.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when you're buying locally, then you're meeting these people. Talk to me about safety concerns, because we get a lot of that too. Like, how do you stay safe if you're going to?
Without
Well-
going too deep, because one thing you don't do when you don't advertise that you protect yourself. So we protect ourselves, and you don't put yourself in I've put myself in some
Yeah.
messed up situations before. I have
Yeah.
followed somebody into a house, into a very back bedroom, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
You
what did I
can't
just
get
do?
out, yeah. And
What did I just
And-
do?
me being in the beginning of using the apps, I would say I was really naive and really almost stupid, because I would make the deals late at night, because I stay up and do my homework late at night when everyone else is in bed. So I'm also checking those apps and I'm making deals. Well, sometimes, they'll say, well, I'll take, they might be asking 150. Well, okay, I'll come down to 80, but only if you can pick it up tonight. Only if you can pay tonight. So in the beginning, I did, and I'm not proud of that. That's not something I would ever recommend anyone
No.
doing.
Right.
But you
But
always
I-
went
but-
to a well-lit area. and
But
stuff
I
like that.
would. I mean, a McDonald's parking lot that's not open, but it's, it has a light. I mean,
Nobody
wasn't-
around for miles.
listen, it was not the best scenario. I've never done that since, but
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
just have to be careful. Have to be careful.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
with us, I mean, we've always been face-to-face kind of people.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been dealing with people for 20 years, just always meeting face-to-face for whatever reason. And the only thing that was different was it was an app,
Yeah.
and that's how the contact was made,
Right.
so you don't know what you're walking into.
You're walking into.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that's the
You
difference.
have to be careful.
Yeah, I know here, just for anybody watching, our local police station actually has a parking spot that's designated for online
Transactions.
That's
transactions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's well
That's
lit,
awesome.
totally.
Well, and they got cameras.
the whole bit.
That is
and-
awesome.
Yeah, anybody willing to meet you at the police station, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
If they won't meet you there, then you probably don't want to do that deal anyway.
Yeah.
But I think Thrifty Boston said meeting in front of a bank is also a great idea. Even if it's
yeah.
after hours, because again, you've
They
got
have
lots of
security
security
cameras.
cameras well
Yeah.
lit. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think making sure that you're safe there is always a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, I'm a little iffy walking
Yeah,
into
a little.
a stranger's house. I don't mind doing the deal, but
Little chicken here.
well, I'm following somebody in I don't know in their house into a back bedroom
I'm gonna go no on that.
and have me doing their photographs for them,
Right? They'd be like, okay, you're here, get to work.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't recommend. You need to be smart about it and
Yeah.
use your head. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Somebody just said I was almost jumped by 3 men over a gaming system. Yeah, you have to.
Oh wow.
You have to be careful.
that's what I went and followed the guy into the back
Yes.
room for, was a gaming system.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. And I should have known better being in law enforcement, and that you just always have to have an avenue of escape. I mean, just all kinds of things. And
Yeah.
I just
It was-
broke every rule in
Yeah.
the book. So,
The greed got you, Chad.
It was a really
Yeah.
good deal, though, wasn't it? It was a really good deal.
Well, and the guy was saying he had more stuff in the back bedroom. See, that's
Yeah.
where.
It's like here's some candy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Turn the
I got
fan.
more candy,
Yeah.
Chad. Just come here.
yeah.
But you know what, Chad? I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, you got more stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I go dig into your house? That's
Right.
neat. Yeah, and all common sense goes out the window.
And see, also what you have to think about is you get a reputation for always having money on you.
Right.
So word spreads amongst people, and you get a lot of business by word of mouth. So yeah, you've just got to be careful.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful, especially with us, because we buy a lot of stuff and a lot of higher dollar stuff, and it's always cash.
Yeah.
Always cash.
Yeah.
You know, nobody takes cards.
No.
So yeah, and but yeah, you just got to really think about it if you're
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, do you guys then sell it all on OfferUp or any of that local stuff? You're flipping back onto it, or you're just selling it on eBay?
Typically, when
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't want to step all over her because
go
she's
ahead.
actually smarter than I am
Oh,
when it comes to
stop
this
it.
stuff.
No.
But we typically don't because the profit margins are just so much better on
Yeah.
eBay. The local hustle, while it can be good and beneficial, the stuff that we're buying because we have clientele online.
Right.
We got the stuff we buy because there's enough people that'll sell toasters locally, you know, so that's not even something we'd be interested in. The stuff that we're looking for has got a really good clientele online because if we try to sell it locally, then we're going to be dealing with people like us, you know, so
And who wants to do that?
who wants to do that?
Nobody. Clearly no one. So how have you seen, you guys have been around forever. You're like me. We've been around doing this forever. How has it changed?
Oh, we were around like
Before the internet.
before like
Back in the
eBay,
old
before
days.
technology. Like, so yeah, it's been interesting.
Everything
Yeah.
has changed. I mean, we actually had to, people will laugh, but with the internet so new, and with what people don't understand is smartphones haven't been around near as long as the internet, okay? So if you're going out and you find something that's $50 and you don't know really that much about it, you have to go home. You got to leave it.
Yep.
You got to go home.
You
You
gotta
got to research it. And it's like,
Yep.
okay, this would be good. Let's hurry up and get back there. And hopefully it's still there. So I think
do that a lot.
technology is
Yeah.
probably the biggest thing that has,
Well, it brings it to a new level.
Yeah.
It makes it easier, I think. It makes it easier for new people to get involved.
Oh yeah,
oh, yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, that's why a lot of times we think that people just don't really understand what it means to
To have done this for,
work. I mean,
go ahead.
if we started 10 years ago, for the past 10 years, or we started 10 years before that for 10 years, we're a lot further in that first 10 years than we
Yeah.
would have been here because the stuff that a lot of people do now, it's so easy to do, they don't retain it. It's there and it's gone, and they're like, well, what just happened? I don't even
Right.
remember having that.
Right.
And when you do it and you work for it, and it's just that thing that your parents taught
Yeah.
you that when you really have to work hard for something, you'll appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's
before the internet, you had to become an expert.
Exactly.
You had to know the stuff
Yes.
that you were going to flip
Yeah.
prior to going. Or like you said, Chad, you had to either leave it or take a chance on it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of risk
And-
involved.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of risk involved.
I would say one of the biggest things with today in technology is you can minimize your risk to literally
Yeah.
to make it a no-brainer purchase. Because that's the way we try to do things. We try to minimize our risk on whatever we do. Sure, we'll take a chance on something, but for us, a chance on something is an educated guess.
Right.
And,
Yes.
you know, we've got experience behind us to be able to, so of course we've made mistakes and stuff, but
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're all human. I mean, there's
Yeah.
always bad buys. I mean, she has
Yeah.
a lot more than I do. But
Do you hear this? Do you hear this?
But I mean, at least now, if you go into something that you don't know anything about, you could at least look it up and get an idea.
Yeah.
And prior to that, it was just like, all
Yeah.
right, it looks cool. I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I came home with a lot of stuff back in the day that I thought was cool, but it wasn't.
Right.
It just wasn't cool.
It was.
Oh, we've all been there.
I've done that.
We've all
Yeah.
been there.
Yeah.
I've actually bought stuff without telling her. I
Yeah.
mean, big
Big stuff.
purchases. Big.
I seem to recall some story about a car being purchased.
Oh,
A NASCAR race car. Yes. A real one. Tony Stewart's.
Yeah.
Chad's like, unfriend Cindy.
All right, all
Unfriend
right.
Cindy.
We're not bringing that story up.
So it was Tony
Yeah.
Stewart's, huh?
Huh?
It was Tony Stewart's race car?
It was. He
Yes.
won Atlanta with it. It was
Oh, wow.
yeah. Peanuts car.
the Peanuts, the Halloween
Yeah.
Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Did you actually meet him, or was that from like one of the crew, or?
Well, he was from our town. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. And but yeah, we bought it and turned it into a simulator.
Well,
and
he says
ran
we
it.
lightly because we didn't buy it. No,
Yeah.
I was supportive once I saw that there was,
The
it
potential was there.
Yes, it was going to be profitable, but yeah, I probably stopped breathing when he first told me. I'm like, you already bought it?
And then after that, it's like, okay, we have the car, but we have to have
Yeah.
a car hauler
Yep.
and a truck to pull it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, more expense involved, and
Well, and then you had to turn it into a simulator.
Yeah.
we
Is it
brought
like-
in technical people to put all the electronics in it and all that. And
It was really cool.
it was one of the first of its kind, actually. So, and it ran up and down the whole East Coast at car shows.
oh, cool.
Oh.
And, yeah, several NASCAR drivers rode it and reviewed it, and they loved it. Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip. I
Loved
remember
it.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, very cool. We watched NASCAR for a while there.
but we got our money back. So
Yes.
That's it.
Hey.
All good. All good.
All good. All good. So tell us a big flop. Like that was a good score. What was a
Oh,
big
I've got
flop?
it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this
flop?
a big flop. Okay. Well.
I don't have any big flops. Maybe we'll choose.
Okay. Let's back up here. So a big flop would be. Well, I'm talking about the printer.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I'm going to probably embarrass him here for just a second, and he can, return the favor here in a minute. But so what happened was we bought this printer, and I say we again lightly because, well, Chad bought this big, what's it called?
It was,
What was it
like
called?
$30,000 new.
No,
it
but
was a
So
big
like
industrial.
Yes.
office size
Industrial. Yeah.
Industrial, yeah.
Okay.
Had the big computer screen. I
Oh,
mean, you
really?
Can,
Like it
yeah.
looked really cool. Okay. And when he bought it, I was
got it
like,
for $100
man,
bucks."
you got that for a steal. Like we are going to rake in the money. I was so excited. And then this little old lady.
I put it on Craigslist for
Yeah.
4,000.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4,000.
And so she contacts us and says, can I come and see it? So we're like, sure.
Well, she
So
started talking us
she-
down.
Well, yeah, she immediately started talking us down. Now, mind you, we only had 100 in it. So we're thinking, bring it on.
I'll take 2,500
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. So she
Yeah.
comes over and she brings her sons with her
And a moving truck.
and a moving truck.
Oh.
Okay.
Good sign.
So I was out back while this was happening. I was out back in the pool, and Chad makes the lady. This is a little old lady who is using
I mean, like
the
80
fact that
years
she's a
of age.
little old lady.
Nah.
Okay?
And she talks with the crackly voice, oh,
Yeah.
sweetheart. And,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
The
The art of
going on.
negotiation.
If I had been out there, which I wasn't, but had I been out there, I would have seen that and known right away. But Chad here has a big heart. And so he
I
let
asked
her
her,
have
no,
it.
I asked her for payment, and all
Well,
she had
yes,
was $100
all
on
she
it.
had was $100. So
in that
Chad
one
says-
pocket.
Chad says, okay, you can
You
go
can make
ahead
payments.
and take it, and I'll let you make payments. Okay. And that's all right.
I wrote out a contract.
Yes, he wrote it out. She signed it. That little old lady,
Disappeared.
nice little old lady. It was what, 2 years?
She owned a business.
Yeah, she did. And she changed her phone number. She moved her business because she could stop. She started getting phone calls from me. And, I'm very, very easy to get along with. If you tell me you're going to pay me, I'm flexible. Like, if you can't pay till next month, just tell me. Like, that's fine. Changes her phone number, changes her business address. Like, it became this big nightmare, this printer. So that would probably be one of our biggest regrets.
We looked at suing her, and
Yeah.
we did the public search on her and stuff. This lady was getting sued by so many people.
Oh.
It's get in line. Yeah.
So you broke another rule, basically.
Yeah.
Cash on delivery.
Yeah, it was rough. And I don't know. I kind of, in the beginning I felt like Chad, I felt like really bad for her. And, I was willing to say, okay, you didn't make a payment this month. That's okay.
But she would say like,
But
oh,
she
but
would
I've got
say
this contract from the city coming.
Yeah, like she would make stuff
Just-
up. Like, I've got this amount, I have $30,000 coming in. Like, she laid it on thick.
She
So
just hung it
after
along,
she-
basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it was rough.
Yeah.
So yeah, we won't do that again.
Right.
But you know what? Everybody, maybe not a printer story with a little old lady, but everybody has a flop. Everybody has something
Oh,
where
yeah.
you look back on it and you think, why? Why did I do that? I think that's
And there, I've
part
had
of-
a few.
Oh, I've had several.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest one.
What about your biggest flop?
Yeah, what was your biggest flop?
the one I regret the most it was years ago. I walked into a Goodwill and Speedo had donated, like, I don't know, had to be 200 swimsuits. They were all brand new. They were beautiful. I could have had them all for $2 a piece, but it was like August, and I remember thinking, well, gosh, I don't know if I can sell that many. And so I bought 4, and I left them all. And I, of course, sold those, and this was, years ago, but I sold those 4 within a couple of days. And
Yeah.
I still think, I should
What
have
if-
just,
Yeah.
I should have just loaded the cart. Like,
Yeah.
but, it's still in that moment, I think, when you're new and you're thinking, well, what are people going to think if I take them all?
Yeah.
And I was still like having that moment of what's the cashier thinking? Now I'm like, forget what she thinks, put them in the cart. I don't care what she thinks. Take 'em all.
Well, it didn't cost you any money, so that's a positive.
Right. That's a good thing.
Yes. Yeah. No, but that's a big regret. I have a lot of those, the things that you passed that, you look back and you think, you remember what you passed when you first started?
Mm-hmm.
What's your big pass? I think Ronnie's in the chat.
I was right in the chat. Tom Ford shirt. First time out thrifting with her, and I see this Tom Ford shirt.
And
And
as a Chevy guy, he
And
thinks.
Chevy guy, I'm like, what's Ford making shirts for?
That's
Who'd
funny.
buy a Tom Ford shirt? Little did I know it was a $500 shirt at the time, but
Yeah.
you live and learn.
Yeah.
Last time we went out and I saw 2 of them, I couldn't buy them fast enough.
Right? He was like, put him in the cart, put him in the cart.
Mhm.
So yeah, we have a lot of those. A lot of
Oh,
those
yeah.
things. Stuff that you look back on that you think, should have looked it up, but could have looked it up. But yeah, back in the day, I didn't have a smartphone, and so when I first got a cell phone, then I had a friend who sold eBay, and we would call each other from the store, and the code was, would Aunt Edna like this, or
Yeah.
Uncle Eddie? That's
Yeah.
it was Aunt Edna or Uncle Eddie, and that meant get on your computer and look it up.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the phone a friend, but yeah, we did a whole show though on
Oh, flops of
what
things
we
that
called
bought.
NOLOs instead of BOLOs, and went through our inventory and just like, what was I thinking?
Right.
You
Oh,
know?
gosh.
Nobody, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how that feels.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People ask me, it's like, what do you do with the stuff that doesn't sell? I'm like, I don't have anything that doesn't sell. Are you serious? I wouldn't have bought it if it didn't
Oh
sell.
boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
up.
But yeah, we all know the truth.
Yeah.
So-
How did you list the guitar?
I haven't.
No.
You didn't list it.
No.
No.
It's been
Oh,
sitting in your
oh.
garage for how long?
Oh.
Well, that was it for over a year.
That one,
It,
yeah.
it was
at
in my
least.
garage for a year before I even looked at it the
Yeah.
first time.
Gosh.
Now our granddaughter's obsessed with it. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
she
Oh.
wants to mess around. So
Oh, that's
who
more
knows? We'll
important.
list it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
more important.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with the printer though, at least you made your money back. I mean, you really didn't
Right.
lose anything.
That's true.
Well, I did actually lose some. I just remembered this because it weighed several hundred pounds.
Oh,
I had to have it delivered to my house.
Yeah.
oh, so you had to pay delivery charges.
Yeah, probably $35-40 probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
I actually
not
lost
too
money
bad.
on the deal officially.
Yeah.
Chad is just slow in general. He's a slow $50. Deb's here.
We love Deb. It's
Yeah.
like,
Love Deb. Love
Yeah.
Deb.
Yes.
Yes. So how do you guys figure out, okay, how much time you're talking about having stuff for a year? So clearly you're okay with stuff sitting for a little while. How do you make all of that work? I think a lot of times people get into this and it's really easy to become obsessed and work 24/7 and
Right.
never do anything but work.
Well, I mean, we have a storage unit.
you didn't have to bring that
We have
up.
a storage unit full of stuff that's not listed.
No, the storage unit is where like my collections
Yeah,
are, like
like-
my
Okay.
8mm movies and my records and
There's some
My
stuff in there. Though.
vintage sound systems and stuff like. But there's some stuff in there. That's not
Oh
listed.
yeah.
All right, when you're ready to sell it, you just give me a call and I'll come out to Florida
Bring the moving.
I thought-
and we'll negotiate.
yeah, Ronnie said I need to come down and pick your storage shed. I'm like, no, you know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
because he knows I'll just be like, okay,
Yeah.
here you go.
And that'd be $10,000. And you'd be like, okay.
Okay.
But
So
with
now-
us, I purge about twice a year.
Yeah.
And so many people are like, you're giving all that stuff away. That I mean,
Well, it's kind. I mean, I kind of push that a little bit just because
Yeah.
I'm a bit OCD and I cannot stand clutter. So I kind of push him to, purge.
yeah, I mean,
Eh.
she does not allow. Well,
Okay.
she's a
You're
reseller
making
like
me
I
sound
am.
like real
No,
bad.
our house, my office is a total
Oh, yeah.
wreck.
But I shut the door.
My garage is a total wreck. The rest of the house, if somebody walked in, they would never know what we do.
Yeah.
So,
So as long as it's separate, and see, when I list stuff like throughout the summer, I do a lot of listing, not so much through the school year, but I'm one of the people that when I'm going to list something, I get it out and I take the photos and I list it and then I put it back. Chad here, not so much.
but I know where everything is.
He does know where everything is, but he's the type that will have a pile of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fine. Like, it's just the difference in he and I, but that's why he has to purge. Yeah. It's got to happen. Because when
Yeah,
there's a
that's kinda
path to
The guitar made it through several purges, though.
it has.
It's like, oh, I'm keeping this, and it goes up there. Oh, I'm keeping this, and yeah.
Yeah.
Honey.
But somebody gets a great deal. I put it on Offer Up, Let Go, Craigslist, free. And then
Oh,
the first
yeah.
person that shows up, I'm like, well, I'll have another batch for you tomorrow, and then probably another batch the next day.
And we always say, if you come, you have to take all of it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You have to take whatever I put out there, whether it's a broken something,
Yeah.
then they have to take it. So
Yeah.
That helps then keep things kind of moving and
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not lost money because we've made that money 100 times
Yeah.
over. So it's not really a loss as far as,
No,
if I paid
it-
$5 for something, because we don't look at it as a per item profit or loss.
Yes.
And, so you can go a month, you can go 2 months, but when it comes to us, it's annual.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
stuff that you could get rid of and it doesn't even show up on the,
Yeah.
on the radar. So, while it's a cost of goods, it also can, ultimately in the long run, it
Well, yeah.
mixes itself out and it never even existed. So,
Well, and
Yeah.
a lot of times it's stuff that we've gotten with other stuff and we've
Oh, yeah.
more than made our money back.
Yeah, so it's part of a lot, and
Yeah.
you really bought the lot for just the one
Yes.
thing, and then you
Yeah.
got all the rest of the stuff with it, so that kind of just goes by the wayside.
Yeah.
well, last year we bought 2 estates.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, that's
there's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, we did that, and that's
We ended up with the same thing,
yeah.
just a little bit of extra that,
Yeah, we finally auctioned off we ended up with I don't know, 5,000 late 80s, early 90s Christian CDs.
which was part of
Wow.
which is something we would never have gotten into, but
Yeah, but it was part of a Disney estate, and we wanted all
Right.
the Disney stuff, and it was one of these take it all. So but
Yeah.
we ended up just lotting them all up and auctioned them off, and they did really well.
yeah,
So
made some
Good.
money at it.
yeah, so it was just free money at that point. But yeah, they had to go. They had to.
it's stuff like, the Guitar Heroes, right? I hate shipping those stupid guitars. So, I won't buy them unless they have the dongles. Now, what I'll do is I'll sell the dongle
Yeah.
and I'll give the stupid guitars away
Yeah.
because
You
I'm
got
only
like 30
paying a buck.
guitars in the garage, and
Yeah.
And this,
Yes.
this last guy, he just took like 6 of them
Yep.
because I'll only buy the ones that have dongles with them, and I don't want to list a whole
Yeah.
guitar because you can get most of the money in the dongle. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's stuff that you learn over time.
Yeah.
That, hey, I can sell this one little piece and make the money, and that there is money in your time. And so the amount of time it's going to take you to ship that guitar, the value really isn't there. Even though
Finding a stupid box for that guitar
Well, the
is a pain.
frustration level
Yes.
with those guitars. I mean, you got to count that stuff. And I know that sounds silly, but
it's not.
it's not. Yeah, it's just not worth. It's not worth our time.
yeah,
Well, it could be worth somebody's time, though. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we have a rule here that someone likes to buy some odd stuff, and what's the rule, honey?
If he has to get out bubble wrap, it has to sell for at least $50. That's the rule.
You got to have bubble wrap, and you got to make a box for it. It's got to be over $50 because it's not worth the time.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good rule to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Justifiable.
It works most of the time. Sometimes I always abide by the rules, but we're married. You can't always abide by the rules. I mean, that's-
speaking of bubble wrap, I've been shipping for years and years and years. Okay,
Mhm.
I never use the itty bitty bubble wrap anymore
Really?
because you have to use so much of it. If you bought a big roll of the 1-inch bubbles,
Uh-huh.
that will go twice as far
Yeah.
than a roll of the itty bitty little bubbles.
Yeah, the
Because-
1/4 inch.
Yeah, I mean, because it does not really do. I mean, if you're packing anything like anything halfway heavy, say
Yeah.
a VCR, can you imagine how
Yeah.
many times you'd have to wrap with the
Oh.
with the itty bitty stuff? And
Yeah.
when I watch a lot of videos of people packing stuff, I always see them use that itty. I'm like, why? Have you
Yeah.
ever used that big stuff?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Well, it's worth the money
yeah,
to get
and
the.
it really protects it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're shipping like a coffee mug, the little bubbles are great for it. But
Getting
like,
around the little handles.
yeah, like Chad said, if you're shipping a stereo receiver, I mean, some of those things are 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Those old 70s stereo receivers. Yeah, you'd use a whole roll of that stuff on.
Right.
Well, a lot of times what people don't realize is the smaller bubble wrap, when you wrap it around it and you wrap it tight, all it does is becomes a piece of that item.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
the shock protection is not there at all. But with the bigger bubble wrap, what you have is it's separate from that item and it has actual shock protection. So if you think about it, if you wrap the smaller bubble wrap around something thick like that, you're going to see that if you hit it, it's going to transfer straight to the item because it's part of it now because it's tight. So, yeah.
What a great tip. Way to go.
But the big bubble wrap, you
We
got to
don't-
have a place to put it because, I mean, these things are like 4 foot by,
Yeah.
I tell you
But
what.
it's so worth it. Oh,
Yeah.
so worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Instagram cuts us at an hour. So we have
Okay.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So last tip for sourcing locally, selling that hard good kind of stuff. Somebody wants to get into it.
I would say learn and practice on negotiating.
Yes.
Because
You took mine.
you cannot afford to go out and pay sticker price for everything that's out
Right.
there or leave it there when
Yeah.
you could be getting it and making a profit. I can't imagine all the things we'd have to leave behind
Right.
if we left it. I mean,
Well,
the
and
money that we're
Your
leaving
military
behind.
patches, I mean, that's a prime example right there.
Yeah.
$1,000 you would have left it behind, but you got it for $200. So
right. And like we said, the worst thing that can happen, is that people say no, they won't take your offer, or I don't know. I think anyone new who's maybe just starting reselling, I would use those apps to practice negotiating and just don't be afraid. Like don't be so intimidated. The worst thing that could happen is, a grumpy old man, says no.
Yeah.
So, it's worth it. It's so worth it. And you're building your confidence too at the same time. So,
And a good way to do that is talking to people.
Yeah.
If you're going through the checkout at the store, talk to the person who is checking you out. Make
Yeah.
conversation. Then you get comfortable with talking with people. No
Yes.
matter where you're at. I mean, I'll stop and talk to anybody. I don't
Yeah.
care. And
well, and we do. I
Yeah.
mean, we're just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're like that, but it does help, your social skills. If you are behind a computer a lot and you're not interacting with people, you're not getting that experience. And you can use just going to Walmart or the grocery store and just strike up a conversation with the cashier or anything, and that's all of that counts. Like that's practice. Go ahead.
we had people from the rally because that was our topic when we talked at the reseller rally was negotiating. And we did that, and people were coming up to us, later on, a month or two later, saying, "I've really tried to start talking, and it's working, and it's getting better." And
that is
that's
so
what it's
awesome.
about,
That
so.
is what it's about. Oh,
Yeah.
but don't let high prices ever scare you away.
no.
Ever. I'm not intimidated by anything,
Mm.
anyone.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I'm beyond all that. I really am.
Yeah, and I would say I am too. I don't get intimidated by. I look at the negotiating thing more as a challenge.
Yep.
And most of the challenge situations are women. Women. That get kind of a little bit crappy.
Women get crappy.
They do, and that's okay. Like I'm totally fine with that. But it's more of a challenge for me. Like I'm going to make her smile, because it is what it is. I mean, it's not worth worrying about or getting upset over. So,
Yeah, we do a lot of that. So
yeah.
this has been so much fun. We love hanging out with you guys. We've watched you forever over on YouTube. Everybody in the chat, if you're not following Golden Finger Pickers YouTube channel, you should be. So much good information there. A lot of good insights on things to sell that aren't clothing. I think a lot of Instagram is a lot of clothing items.
But
And a lot of people
clothing items, but everybody's so welcoming. They really
Yes.
are, because we're those people that, I mean, I don't hate clothing, but
No.
it's just not what.
if you don't enjoy it,
Mannequin.
if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. You know,
Yeah.
you find
Yeah.
something you enjoy. I mean, like those military patches. I love all that
Yeah.
military and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
went nuts. I would have kept them for myself.
That's our problem. He keeps all this stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta buy the
Well-
clothing because then it doesn't fit.
But I just made over $600 in
Yeah.
clothing this week.
Right. So I
yeah.
mean, you know, we still pick up stuff here
Oh,
and
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But no, it was so nice to meet you guys, and we thank you
Yeah,
so
nice
much
to
for
meet you.
having us.
Yes, and definitely, guys, follow them on Instagram. We got to get you guys on stories more so we can see more of what you guys are doing and follow along and see what you're buying, what you're selling.
And when you're
Yeah.
renting out that storage unit,
Yeah.
let me know.
Hey, come on down.
Yeah.
I'll go get the beach with Kim. You guys can.
I
I
will
hear
hook
you take
you up.
payments.
I'll hook you up. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to start taking titles of their cars before,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, we've
Yeah.
got 3 kids. Would you take one of those? We
Yeah,
we
no kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been
No,
fun.
we
You guys have
appreciate
a
it.
great night.
Thank
Well, thank
you.
you,
You
you
too.
too. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Guys.
We'll